Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I do have an idea for the logo.
Oh, you got an idea for the pay-per-view, man?
I do have a logo idea for the pay-per-view.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how awesome is it?
I think it's gonna rise right to the cream of the crop.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how awesome is it?
I think it's gonna rise right to the
Alrighty.
cream.
Audio's all good, brother.
Oh
So,
yeah.
oh yeah. Bonesaw is ready. That one's for Eric. Although Eric always thought he said Bonesaw is relieved.
You got 3 minutes with me and you ain't going nowhere.
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband make it for you? Okay, actually, it's funny because some of the matches still apply. So, do you want to just. So, I'll give everybody some backstory real quick because I know you're on a bit of a time crunch. This will be kind of a short one, but it's a bonus episode, so take what you can get, people. By the way, this podcast is brought to you by the Arte Podcast Network, which you're already familiar with because you're watching this show. So, good job. I'll go through the other podcasts on the network later. But so we came up with this idea after, I think it was after the first Forbidden Door. We were like, oh, this would be fun to book. It'll never happen, but fun to book between a Forbidden Door pay per view between AEW and WWE. So we came up with a card, and then what's that?
This is our Forbidden Door.
Yeah, our Forbidden Door. And the plan was we were going to use, I forget, WWE 2K22, was it?
It was 22 at the time, but 23 is out now, and they have a lot more people out. So
Yeah.
it's a lot more easier to work stuff.
Okay, so our plan is we get the card established. Brian is going to create the characters, make the matches, and then we will somehow, some way, either stream or record the pay per view for your viewing pleasure with commentary from us. It's all in good fun, but let's get to the card. So on our pre-show,
And we may change this up just a little bit from last time.
yeah,
Because I think before when we did this all in one night. Other than like a few couple of things were like done on like a Raw or SmackDown or an AEW prior to it. But I think this is gonna be so big. I think we should do night 1, night 2.
I agree. I think we talked about that, but so it would be right up. It would be a normal AEW pay per view, but it's going to be a 2-night WWE pay per view.
Yes. And the logo idea I have for it is going to be, it's a lot of nostalgia. I think do we want to say it now or do you want me to make it and then we'll just randomly post it?
Make it, because I want it to be a surprise.
Okay.
Okay, so we had two pre-show matches, the first of which being Orange Cassidy versus R-Truth for the All-Atlantic Championship.
Well, we can't really do that now because R-Truth is technically hurt. Now, are we going to go to the scenario that nobody's hurt?
Yeah, we can assume that everyone involved is healthy, but it's not the All-Atlantic Championship anymore. It's now the AEW International Championship.
And I think that's still a good place to put it.
Yep.
And that should be a night 1 pre-show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess we will have two pre-shows now, won't we?
Yep.
And then the second one was the Women's Casino Battle Royal match consisting of Dana Brooke, Raquel Rodriguez, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Aaliyah, Bayley, Asuka, Carmella, Becky Lynch, Emma, Shotzi, Liv Morgan, Beth Phoenix, Naomi, who is no longer in the company. So we're going to have to...
take Naomi out.
And Sasha Banks out. Then we had Natalya, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. Ripley has to come out too because she's got a title.
Yes.
So can we now this a WWE Women's Casino Battle Royal with the winner going on to face the AEW Women's World Champion later on that night, or maybe on night 2.
I thought it was for the TBS.
You know what? You're right. It is for the TBS.
And then Jade Cargill's not the...
So you just put Chris Statlander in that match.
So you put Chris Statler in it. So
no, this is all WWE women's wrestlers, and the winner of this faces the TBS champion later.
Yeah. But we got to take
We got to
Jade
take.
and put and
Oh
for that
yeah,
match.
yeah. But just on this match, we gotta take out Naomi, Rhea, and Sasha, and put 3 more ladies in there.
We could put Ronda in there.
Yes, we could.
Is Shayna Blazer in there?
Nope, but she can be. Or I feel like we had her somewhere else, but I could be wrong.
And I think we had Trish Stratus in it. She's part of the current roster.
We did not, but yes, she's going in there. Okay, and Trish Stratus. Okay, so then our first match of the main card. Now, this is the only match where we have a predetermined winner. Everything else we were going to let the computer figure out.
Yeah.
But this one, just for booking purposes, the Men's Casino Battle Royal, who will go on for the triple threat match on night 2, which I don't think we figured out if that was a winner take all.
So.
Oh no, it's for the Universal Championship.
So I was thinking about that. Since that's something I think we may change up, because at this point Roman's still built as such a top athlete.
I have an idea.
I think it would be hard to book it to a triple threat.
So maybe this person,
because MJF the AEW World Champion, and we have MJF versus The Miz. So it's hard to just kind of strip that title from him, put him in that booking position.
Oh no, I don't think we should do MJF and The Miz anymore, because MJF is the world title winner.
Oh, I don't know. I still personally think we should.
I think it would be a good match, but it would have to be non-title.
Yes.
But it just...
I mean, they did it at the AEW last Forbidden Door. It wasn't for the AEW title.
Oh, it wasn't? I thought it was.
I don't think it was.
But here's the thing. So I like the idea of maybe...
If Roman didn't have such high priority right now, because he's like, he's literally like the cream of the crop of wrestling right now, like top heel, you know what I mean?
So do we maybe have it to where it's a non-title match, but it's a triple threat main event with Roman? Well, you almost have to have it be a fatal 4-way now, because you got Seth as the world champion.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay, so how about... Hear me out. Maybe if Mox was the AEW World Champion, this would be perfect, because I'd like to see a Shield reunion triple threat.
Yeah.
So
it's our fantasy booking, so I think we could switch it around where we can force book Moxley versus Dean, or Moxley versus MJF.
Well, no, I don't want to do prior, because I'm kind of thinking this kind of card, and I know it's fantasy, but this kind of card, unless you've got months of build-up, like you can't really... So I kind of want these matches to be cold, where like the existing activity in each company still stands, but as far as this pay-per-view is concerned, it's cold matches.
Yeah.
Unless you've got... Because there are a couple matches in here that are existing feuds, but within that company.
Yeah.
So, what do we want to do with Punk then? Or do we want to have Moxley win the Battle Royale? Oh, I got it. So, it's no longer Punk winning. It's going to be Mox winning the Battle Royale, but the main event is a triple threat. I think the Shield reunion should be main event of night
2.
Yeah. So the winner of this Battle Royale joins Rollins and Roman in the main event of night 2. Now we can figure out if we want it to be for titles or not.
Okay.
But okay, so we're gonna have Mox, because Moxley's in it already. So the participants of this match, although we might take Punk out of this, because we might want to have him do something else. Now, this one is a mixed battle royale with Jungle Boy, Hangman Page, Samoa Joe, Sammy Guevara, Ricky Starks, Hook, Matt Sydal. Well, we haven't seen him in a while, have we?
Who?
Matt Sydal.
We haven't.
Or Brian Pillman. There's a few people. I'll just read the list and we'll see if we want to replace anybody. So we got Jungle Boy, Hangman Page, Samoa Joe, Sammy Guevara, Ricky Starks, Hook, Matt Sydal, Brian Pillman Jr., Jay Lethal, Powerhouse Hobbs, Johnny Gargano, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, Sheamus, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Austin Theory, Braun Strowman, Shelton Benjamin, and Kevin Owens.
I think that's a pretty solid.
Yeah, it's not broken. Although we have to put Mox in it. So let's take out. We want to take out Matt Sydal and put Mox in.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Because I think we had Mox elsewhere. We'll find him later on the show.
Yeah, because that's 30 people, I think.
Okay, who has the AEW Trios titles now?
House of Black.
So we had Death Triangle versus the New Day for the AEW Trios titles.
I think that'd still be a killer match.
Death Triangle versus New Day?
Yeah.
But not for the titles, though.
No, it would have to be non-title.
Well, so maybe... Personally, I'd rather see Omega and the Bucks versus the New Day in a trios match, but do we just not have those titles up for grabs?
Maybe not.
So what do you think on night one? You want to change it to the Elite versus the New Day?
I thought we had the Usos versus the Young Bucks.
Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let me read through the card real quick, just what we have. And the next we had MJF versus The Miz. Then we had Jade Cargill versus the winner of the Women's Battle Royal for the TBS title. I'll go ahead and change that to Chris Statlander. Then we had Darby Allin versus The Fiend. And then... go ahead.
I think instead of Fiend, you should just dot in Bray Wyatt, because at this point, we don't know what version of Bray Wyatt we're going to get.
Yep. Then we had Gunther versus Wardlow in an IC versus TNT title match. So, AEW's ruining this card, man.
That they are.
Then we had the Acclaimed versus FTR for the AEW tag team titles. Oh, then we had Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes in a triple threat for the US title, which we'll have to change. Damage Control versus Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler for the WWE women's tag titles. Sting versus The Undertaker in a Legends match. Young Bucks versus the Usos for the WWE tag team titles. And then we had Moxley versus Punk versus Reigns for the Universal Championship.
Okay, so we need to figure out what we're going to put on night one, what we're going to put on night two.
Okay.
And then I think we can go through and fix from there.
So let's start with the main event of night two.
Main event of night two. I was still wanting to go Dean or Moxley, Reigns, and Seth.
Yep. But I'd say for non-title, you don't need a belt for this.
And main event for night one, I think we should still use. I think
main event of night one should be Omega
and Cody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
It's a shame there's not a belt on the line, but Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes in
a street fight?
I was going to say last man standing match.
That would be okay too.
in a grudge match. Yeah, since there's no title, we'll make it a gimmick match.
So
Okay,
that gives us our main events for night 1 and night 2.
Okay, so that's night 1. All right, so do we want to have Young Bucks versus Usos on night 1 or night 2? Well, hang on a second. So honestly, I think I'd rather see FTR versus the Usos, but you can still have the Young Bucks face Owens and Zayn on night 2 for the tag team titles.
Okay, yeah. Usos FTR night 1, semi-main.
Okay.
And then the Young Bucks versus
Owens and Zayn for
Owens and
WWE tag team championships. And then we'll change that to FTR versus Usos.
And then we're going to have to pick 2 new people to put in the Casino Battle Royale.
Now let me ask you this. Does FTR have the ROH tag titles?
Yes.
So it'll be FTR and Usos for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. I'm sorry, I got to move the main event around real quick. Copy. Paste. All right, so let's go back. Who do we got to eliminate from that battle royal again?
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yes.
I think Logan Paul should be added to it.
I agree.
And Bad Bunny.
No.
What?
No.
Okay, Logan Paul should definitely be added to it.
Let's throw another AEW guy in there.
AEW guy.
What about okay, maybe, but let's hear me out. What about who can we put Dustin Rhodes against?
Ooh. Just about anybody.
Let's tell you what, let's put Danhausen in the Battle Royale. And let's find a spot for Dustin.
Yeah, because Dustin can work with anybody.
Somebody in WWE.
I would almost rather see Dustin versus R-Truth over Orange Cassidy because they have past history in WWE and they could do some goofy shit together.
But that's just it. I don't want Dustin to go. I want Dustin to finally be able to be serious in a WWE ring.
Okay. Dustin.
So let's think. Who's a workhorse
in WWE?
Yeah. Okay. How about this? How about Gunther versus Dustin Rhodes for the IC title?
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh, okay. I'd be okay with that.
All right. We'll find a place for Wardlow.
I would be okay with that.
Dustin Rhodes for IC title. And that's on, we want that on night 1 or night 2?
Cody's night 1.
Let's make this let's put this on night 2 so that Cody could theoretically be in his corner.
Yeah.
And this may not necessarily be the order, but we're going to at least know what's on night 1 and night 2.
And I think night 2 should be a little bit longer than night 1.
I agree. Okay, so we got our Battle Royal fixed. So now we got to tackle we said, hang on. Yeah, we said. Hang on, where's Kenny? What we got Kenny doing? Oh shit, no, he's in the main event. So we'd have to.
And I think we should change over the men's casino battle royale tonight too, to start off the show.
Well, just if we start off the show, yes, because Moxley is going to be in the main event.
Yeah, and I only say that because we have 2 casino battle royals back to back on night 1.
No, I got you. I see what I'm picking up. Well, okay, so maybe. Do we maybe move the women's casino? Well, we can't really do that, can we? Yeah,
No,
we'll move the men's.
it'll kick off the show.
Yep, it's a good way to start the show. And it's kind of AEW's trademark too. So that'll give some AEW flair. Shit, let's see here. I So, okay, do we make hear me out. We can still do Kenny and Cody on night 1, but do we make the main event MJF versus The Miz for the AEW title?
I don't know if it would mean enough if it was MJF and Miz's main event as it would Kenny and Cody.
I know, man. You know what? Maybe we'll just make that a non-title match.
Yeah.
I just maybe I hate this term, but maybe it'll be a co-main event. But Kenny and Cody will go on last.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
I think that's fair. Damn, night 1 is stacked.
How many matches do we have so far on night 1?
Well, some of these are probably going to be moved, but on the main card, we got 2 in the pre-show, and then we got to fix this trios thing, but it can't be the elite because maybe we just eliminate it.
Eliminate general.
Yeah, because I can't figure out a way to make it work. Now, here's something we could do. What? Oh, I think you'll like this. What about House of Black versus Judgment Day?
Okay. I didn't think about that.
And if we do it on night 1, Rhea can still have a match on night 2 for her title, but I guess she doesn't have to. So let's compare the numbers. I think we're even. So Judgment Day's got Damian, Finn, Dom, and Rhea. So there's 4. And House of Black's got 4, don't they, if you count Julia?
Yeah. But on 2K23, you can't really do 4-on-4s.
Really?
No.
Well, okay, just take Rhea out of it.
Yeah, it'd be 3-on-3.
Yeah, and like she can be in their corner, but she could have her own match. So yeah, we'll replace that with... And that might be a good way to kick off night 1, actually.
Well, are we kicking off with that, or are we kicking off with the Casino Battle Royale?
Well, that's part of the pre-show.
Okay.
Which we have... Do we want to move the TBS title match to night 2 then?
We don't really have any women's matches on night 1.
Well, we can give Rhea one.
Okay.
And yeah, we do, because we got... Which we have to change over. Who's got the WDB women's tag titles now?
Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Okay, so do we want to have... we had Damage Control versus whoever had the women's tag matches. Or, I'm sorry, we had them versus Shayna and Sonya, but that's kind of...
Yeah.
I think we should get Io back on there. Let's do Damage Control with Bayley and Io versus Liv Morgan and Raquel.
I'd be okay with that. But then we got to take Liv and Raquel out
Out of the
of
women's battle royal.
yep.
Yep. Okay. You're right. So who do we want to? Oh, we got to take Bailey out too. Then we need 3 women.
Uh, Not sure. My audio just messed up a little bit. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, you sound different. Okay, so we took out Liv Morgan. Got to take out Bailey. And we got to take out Raquel. Let's get Chelsea Green in there.
Yeah, go ahead and put Chelsea Green in there.
And then we can put
Shotzi Blackheart.
she's already in there. Shit.
Okay.
Sonya Deville. And
That's
then we
fine.
need one
I'm
more.
gonna leave. Go ahead and invite me again. Like I
Okay.
can't hear.
Do. And while we're waiting on him to come in, I can tell you about the podcasts on the Arte Podcast Network. Obviously, you know about this one. There's also the Current Events Podcast, the Average Intelligence Podcast. There's the Arte Podcast, where I just have long form conversations with interesting people. And for all of you musical theater and Disney geeks, we now have Part of Your Broadway World that is also on the network. And Average Intelligence Podcast has started doing every once in a while, we just go through headlines and average intelligence news, and you can catch all that in one convenient location at artemedia.org, or they're all available on YouTube as well. You got me? And he's back. We need one more WWE lady.
WWE lady. Becky Lynch.
We already got her. Well, hang on. Yeah, we do.
Interesting.
How about Zelina Vega?
Oh yeah.
Get some LW. Oh, dude! Lucha Brothers versus LWO.
Yeah, but LWO has 3 people in it.
Well, just make it Mysterio and Santos.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got it. Lucha Brothers and Andrade El Idolo versus the LWO.
Yeah.
There's your trios match.
It just books itself.
Ooh, that'd be a really good way to kick off night 1. Let's do that. And Andrade.
And we will let you guys know, card is always subject to change, because if for some reason I can't figure something out, I may have to change something up a little bit.
And I'm going to move Statlander versus the winner of the Battle Royale to night 2.
Okay.
But we can kick that off after the men's Battle Royal.
That's fine.
Oh, and it didn't copy when I thought. Okay, so that's Chris Statlander. And we don't know who that winner is going to be.
Nope.
Versus winner of women's.
There's only one predetermined match.
And that's just because we need Moxley to win for the main event. Okay.
Everything else is going to be on its own. If titles changes hands, title changes hands.
So we're starting to even out here. So on night 1 thus far, we've got, as far as the main show goes, we've already had Cassidy versus R-Truth, and then we've had the Women's Battle Royal on the pre-show. So we kick off the main card with Lucha Brothers and Andrade versus LWO. And then we've got Darby Allin versus Bray Wyatt. Then we've got Gunther versus Dustin Rhodes for the IC title. Then we have the Acclaim. Does the Acclaim still have the tag team titles in AEW? Who's got the AEW tag team titles now?
FTR.
FTR has them?
I believe so.
Hang on.
Yeah, I believe they have it.
I think you're right. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Come here. Oh, come on, you fucking phone. Come on. There we go. Oh, yep, they do. So instead, FTR is going to put the AEW so we can actually eliminate Acclaim versus FTR so we can just get rid of that match.
Yep.
Now I feel like the Acclaim would get over really well. So who's a fun WWE tag team? Ooh, how about the Acclaim versus the New Day?
Yeah. And then we'll do Kofi and Xavier.
Yep. Then we have Damage Control versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag titles. Should we move Sting and Taker to night 2?
Yeah, that's a pretty big match.
Because then the rest of the card is stacked here. So then we got FTR versus the Usos. That's a lot of tag team matches in a row. We'll have to change the order around. Or hang on. Yeah. Or well shit. Yeah. So do we want to have Rhea versus Tony Storm? I'm telling you what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill.
Wow. That's fine, but there's going to be a lot of assets in this ring.
That's what I'm saying. I say that goes on night 1.
Yeah.
And we'll use it to break up some of these tag matches.
That's fine. Then so far we'll have 2 pre-show and then 6 main cards so far.
For title. I didn't write down the House of Black versus Judgment Day. That'll be night 2.
Yep.
And that's a good way to start the show after the Battle Royal.
But yeah, that's 2 pre-show and then
Well,
6.
okay, so let's just make the men's Battle Royal part of the pre-show on night 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fucking thing. House of Black versus Judgment. Okay, what's a fun match we can have on pre-show of night 2 to start things off?
The return of a Braun Panties match.
With who?
I don't know. Sky Blue and
Okay, yeah, we're doing this.
What's it called? We can't really do that because they don't have Braun Panties match type in the game.
Well, then what are you doing here? Because
Or we do like a little throwback and I go back to like SmackDown versus Raw 2006, create just the match just for that.
we're taking a few steps back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Sky Blue versus
Wow.
Or I'm not gonna lie. Let's for a second. Let's put the bra and panties match to the side because while I'm chuckling here, it is a tad regressive, but I do like the idea of Sky Blue. So let's see who could she have a good match with in WWE. Who's similar?
Keegan Knox.
Who's the NXT Women's Champion?
That I couldn't tell you.
Hang on. We're going to find out. Get some NXT up in here. Tiffany Stratton.
She kind of okay. I know who she is now. She reminds me of like a Mandy Rose type gimmick.
How about Sky Blue versus Tiffany Stratton? It's a pre-show. In a straight-up match.
Okay.
All right, House of Black. So let's see. On night one, thus far, we've got, not counting the pre-show, because the pre-show has 2 matches. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on night 2 thus far, not counting the pre-show, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I suggest...
How many tags do we have in night 2?
We only have the 1, so we need... Well, House of Black... So technically we have 2, but on night 1 we've got a trios match. 1, 2, 3 tag matches. And a trios match. So should we move... Let's move one of these tag team matches to night 2.
Yeah. So then we'll go down to 8 and bring night 2 up to 7.
So let's move one of these tag matches and then just add another match for night 2, and I think we're good. Yeah. We got to give Punk something to do.
Punk versus Triple H. Street fight.
I like the way you think. With Colt Cabana as the special guest referee.
Oh, Lord.
No, I'm kidding. What tag match do we want to move? How about Acclaim versus New Day?
I'm fine with that.
Because that can realistically go...
We can put them after Punk and Triple H to kind of keep the heat a little going.
Well, kind of give people a break, actually, but...
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I say Punk versus Triple H.
Street fight. Because we're hypothetically saying that he can still wrestle.
Yeah. Which we know he can't, but...
But if we did pick Triple H, I wouldn't mind seeing Punk and Orton. Or Punk and Edge.
Punk and Orton would be good. Punk and Edge didn't really do... There's not a lot of history there.
There's no history. They've never wrestled each other.
I'd rather... How about Edge and Christian?
Oh, damn it, man. You're adding... Well, we can add that to night 1 or night 2 because night 2 needs to fill a little longer. Edge Christian unsanctioned match.
You know what? No, just make it a straight...
Straight up?
Make it straight up.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 pre-show matches. On night 1, we've got... Read it through real quick, see if we want to change anything. Pre-show of night 1, Orange Cassidy versus R-Truth for the International Championship. Then we have the WWE Women's Casino Battle Royale. Then we have Lucha Brothers and Andrade El Idolo versus the LWO, consisting of Rey Mysterio, Santos, Escobar, and then I can't remember the other dude's name.
Yep.
Then we have Darby Allin versus Bray Wyatt. Then Gunther versus Dustin Rhodes for the IC title. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for Rhea's title. Damage Control versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. FTR versus the Usos for the AEW Tag Team titles, and we'll tweak that order a bit so that it's not tag, but... Then MJF versus the Miz for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Then the main event, Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes in a last man standing match. Night 2, pre-show, we have Sky Blue versus Tiffany Stratton. Then the Men's Casino Battle Royale with Moxley winning. House of Black versus the Judgment Day. Edge versus Christian. Chris Statlander versus the winner of the Women's Battle Royal. Sting versus The Undertaker in a Legends match. Oh, I think we evened it out because I accidentally pasted Gunther. No, I moved Gunther versus Dustin. So that's no longer on night 1. Sorry. And then we have CM Punk versus Triple H in a street. Although I think we can move it back now. So hang on. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so actually we can move that back to night 1. Because we're down to 6 matches on night 1. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on night 2.
I'm good with that one.
So I'll tell you what, let's move. Let's move Punk and Triple H to night 1.
I'm okay with that.
And then we should be even.
Yep, I'm good with that.
And we can use that to break up a tag match. Okay, so we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches on night 1. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How the fuck did we do that? Sorry. How did I? Okay. So basically it comes down to which would you rather see on night 2? Gunther versus Dustin or Punk versus Triple H?
Probably Punk and Triple H.
Yep, I think so too. Okay, so we'll try this count again. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches on night 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches on night 2. We're good.
Yep.
All right, we've done it. With a few minutes to spare, I will send you this. I will send you this. Enjoy your workday, my friend. I'm going to check and see if anybody's commented real quick. Probably not, because this is an odd night for us. No matter. I'm sure people will. And hey, if you have some ideas for AEW, WWE Forbidden Door number 2, because it's the shits, let us know in the comments. But until then, thank you for enjoying this episode of Down the Middle. As always, we appreciate you viewers, because without you, we'd just be 2 guys talking to each other, and that would be weird. So you make this not weird. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, like always. Tell everybody about the podcast, especially if they like wrestling, because that's who we're talking about. If you tell people who don't like wrestling, they're just going to be like, who the fuck is Darby Allin? And if you prefer to listen to the podcast rather than watch it, you can check us out on every major audio podcast platform, including but not limited to Spotify, YouTube Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon, Podcast Addict, Podbean. I think I said Spotify already, but I can't remember. I think I said Amazon already. You know what I mean. If you can listen to a podcast there, you can probably listen to this. And on rtmedia.org, where you can listen to this and all of the podcasts on our network. Anyway, we will have the pay-per-view streaming as soon as humanly possible. Thank you again, and enjoy your evening.